Cool. Can y'all hear me right now? Oh, that's not good. Less than 5 minutes to show start. If we were at the overtime, oh, I missed the overtime. But if we were at the overtime, we would be flashing the lights in the lobby right now. Take your seats, grab your drinks, get ready. Mother, there we are. Hello there. I am Jules, and this is the Overtime Cabaret from home. These are our
Yay.
lovely performers over here on the side. Thank you guys so much for coming out today. So I'm going to have Angie throw up our overtime cash app information. We would like for you to donate to the overtime if at all possible. I don't know if y'all ever saw the Cabaret in person, but it was a pretty fun thing to do and be at, as were many of the other shows that we had at the overtime. So we are still hoping to have a place where we can do theater after this whole craziness of the pandemic is over. So we're asking for your donations. If you've got a couple of bucks, we would love that very much. We will also have individual tip buckets for each one of our performers that'll get thrown up while they are performing. And I see no reason not to jump right in. Our very first performer I have known for several years now. He is the MC of Puro Slam, San Antonio's slam poetry event. And he is our favorite sacrifice poet. Welcome to the stage, Shaggy.
Woo!
You're muted.
Muted.
I am muted. All right. Thank you all for joining us on this Saturday night. Usually when I do that, I teach kindergarten. My kids don't ever tell me when I'm muted. So thank you for telling me, people. All right. Thank you for joining us in the before times. I run Poodle Slam. I wrote this poem in the before times, and I'm not going to waste any more time because tonight I would like to kick things off with a positive jam, because after being stuck in these four walls for these 6 months with only one dog, one cat, and one otherwise perfect 10 wife who watches way too much reality TV, every time I get to join the rest, I got to bring my best. So we woke up in the 50s. Tired and torn from 2 world wars, and in the filthy corners of smoky bars and the hungry hearts of disenfranchised souls, we found our home, we found our voice. And while those who had cried about the communists in our midst, those who had not clenched their fist and beat a different drum, howled into the night as they prowled the empty streets of that slowly growing cancer some called suburbia. We stumbled through the 60s, found inspiration in drugs and despair in yet another war, picked up our guitars and wrapped our words around acid melodies, our thoughts torn and tripping, and despite getting handcuffed in Chicago, shot down at Kent State, our blood splattered across the walls of a Hollywood bungalow, we still found the energy to fuck our way through the 70s. Cocaine nights and bloodshot mornings, waking up in the wasted arms of a bad economy and a disco strangler. We struggled through the 80s, and while some made a name, made some money, made a life with that Hotel Tigre, we hibernated and waited for that winter of waste to give way to a more conscientious spring. We reinvented ourselves in the 90s, slammed violent verse in Chicago, took our anger to the airwaves and advertised our ideas into 1,000 microphones on 1,000 stages. And while the dying echoes of the old millennium faded away down the hope-filled halls of the new, our voices once again found targets for the arrows we needed to sling. We got bored when we didn't have a slam, so we started our own. We got frustrated when we couldn't find the right words, so we stole them from others. We wrote poems that embraced the I. We wrote poems that condemned the them. We wrote poems that tested to see whether or not the virtual audience was even listening. So when I say Trump, put them up. Trump up. Trump up. We wrote poems for the Big Brother Nation. They put cameras in our street corners so that they could watch us. They put cameras in our cell phones so that we would watch each other for them. They put cameras in our microphones to see if they were terrorists, hiding in our tonsils. So tonight, I'd like to kick things off with a positive jam. Say yes to change jam. We won't get fooled again jam. This is my blue-eyed soul jam with Bootsy Collins on bass and the syncopated beats of a rhythm nation, propelling our politics forward, onward. The bird is the word. Slam is the sport of spoken word. Squidward is SpongeBob's next door neighbor, and even he listens to public radio and wants to know who's going to sign my next paycheck. I know because I heard him say so myself. So tonight, I'd like to kick things off with a positive jam because we got Poodle poetry from Lady Di. Jules' voice is going to make you cry. With comedian Jake, we'll laugh along, and the troubadour is going to do it in song. So grab a beer, sit back, and enjoy. Peace.
Yeah. That was so awesome. And I just got immortalized in a Shaggy poem.
Aw.
That is so cool. Like, I feel so flattered. That is really cool.
That's awesome.
All right. So we can hear that. Okay. So next up, we have a musician who has blonde hair and wears glasses. It's me. I'm going to play a song for you. This one is called Telling Me Lies. You're telling me lies. I said the Pledge of Allegiance every single day. Wasn't just me, we were always that way. 28 tiny voices, 28 hands on 28 hearts. I knew one day that I'd serve the stripes and the stars. Other girls play dress up, makeup and high heels. I put on my sister's army boots just to see how it feels. Followed in her footsteps, and I fell right in line. 'Cause I believe the story and the glory will be mine. You're telling me lies, lying to my heart, telling me lies. So I would do my part, you're telling me lies, telling me lies. I considered it a privilege to stand to fight to die, but I didn't know how much of myself I'd have to compromise. Wasn't that I was stupid, one part bull, two parts naive. You were so convincing, and I wanted to believe your lies. Lying to my heart, telling me lies. So I would do my part, you made me believe that I was on the side of good, made me believe that I knew where I stood when the spell was finally broken, when the truth was finally spoken. I fell down and nearly drowned in the deep, deep dark. I was way too tired to sleep. I was way too hungry to eat, too sad to cry. No wonder why I finally fell apart. 'Cause you were telling me lies, lying to my heart, telling me lies. So I would do my part, you made me believe that I was on the side of good, made me believe that I knew where I stood. Telling me lies, telling me lies, telling me, telling me, telling me, telling me lies. You're telling me lies. You are too kind. All right, let's see who we've got up next. We have another poet for you who, by the way, is going to be back for other cabarets that we have. We are doing this cabaret for the next 4 Saturdays in a row at 8 p.m. on Saturday nights, streaming live from the Overtime's Facebook page. Please donate to the overtime. And it will be from our Facebook page and our YouTube page and my Facebook page. Actually, I am Jules Vaquera. If you are my friend, it will be streaming from there as well. So please throw a donation to the overtime if you can. Next up, we have coming to the stage, Lady Di.
What an honor to share the virtual overtime theater stage with some great local performers, especially like Jules and Shaggy that I admire. Without further ado, this is Types of Poetic Frustration, Works of Gratitude. I tried to write a haiku for you, but it grew too long, evolving into a song wrapped around the sun and morning dew drops, and giving you props for making this the best part of my day in every little way. I tried to write you a sonnet, but almost every line on it fell short a few syllables, not to mention the intensity of end rhyme whose rules I broke from time to time. Oh, what a curse to have all these words trapped in my head when putting them down on paper has only led to poetic frustration. Oh, and I tried to write you a funny poem, but I've got pretty dry humor, so instead, let me write you a letter with all the things I could not have said in person better. I wish I could have kissed you the last time we were together. I swear you are my sunshine when my mind's got awful weather. My heart is just too heavy, and again I'm stuck in bed. I will have to show my love through letters instead. But the words I need escape me, and my sanity is fleeting too. So I will continue creating all of my art for you. I can't wait to walk with you in the gallery of my gratitude. I will paint portraits of you, my muse, and sing your praises on high. I will keep on making music and sample your soft sigh. I can't wait to hold your hand again when social distancing is through. I will continue creating memories with you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lady Di. By the way, apparently we've got some fans of Puro out there watching this right now. So we definitely have some fans out there. That's awesome. Thank you, Mandy. We love you. Thank you for watching. And so, Lady Di, tell me how you came to poetry. You how long you been writing? What made you decide to start writing?
I started writing poetry about 10 years ago when I was in middle school, and I really had just written it for the page and been published in several anthologies. And then I happened upon Porto Slam last year, so it was my first time to really take my poetry and bring it up on stage. So I get excited every time I get to perform poetry, for sure.
Well, that is so awesome. Well, thank you for being with us. Lady Di is going to be back a little bit later in the show. Next up, though, we've got an artist who we usually would call Tobias the Adequate, but hold on one second, guys. I think Angie may have gotten disconnected. So we're going to pull that down. There we go. We normally know him as Tobias the Adequate, and he's normally doing some magic tricks for us. But I don't know if you guys knew this, but he also makes music. So please welcome to the stage your very own Troubadour.
Hi, Mom. Okay. Yeah, usually when I do stuff at the overtime, I am doing stuff at the overtime cabaret as a magician. But with the lockdown, I discovered it's very difficult to do an interactive comedy magic show online. And also, enough people said when I tell them, hey, I am a magician, they say, oh, really? What instrument do you play? So I had to pick up an instrument in self-defense. The act is called Troubadour. Geeky, nerdy, goofy music for geeky, nerdy, goofy people, performed by, the first song is, so if you are watching this, the odds are very good there's some part of the Venn diagram of geek, nerd, and whack job that you fit into. And so the first song is, in fact, one that crosses over several of those circles. It is an epic tale of a man who started from humble origins and stayed there. The performance notes say, played with unnecessary grandeur. came from a tiny village just outside of Aberdeen. And his face, it was not noble, and his clothes, they were not clean. But there's often been a hero that has come from such a start. Our man Festus wasn't one of them. He was neither brave nor smart. There are heroes, myths, and legends that are known throughout the land. But the dreaded peasant Festus was not that man. There are some men bound for glory, bound for riches or for fame. And among that noble roll call, you will not find Festus's name. For his voice, it was not noble, nor his bearing very fine. And he towered over no one at the height of 4'9". There are heroes, myths, and legends that are known throughout the land. But the dreaded peasant Festus was not that man. But from lowly circumstances, some men rise among the rest. Not that Festus ever tried hard, well, that there is just my own guess. But in noble battle, some men can achieve beyond compare. And on the battlefield of Hastings, our man Festus was not there. There are heroes, myths, and legends that are known throughout the land. But the dreaded peasant Festus was not that man. Thoughtful part. There are legendary figures doomed to fade away obscure. And our peasant Festus fits that. At least we think we're pretty sure. There is not much known of Festus. Peasantry builds little pride. Matter of fact, all that we're sure of, well, we're all pretty sure he died. There are heroes, myths, and legends that are known throughout the land. But the dreaded peasant Festus was not that man.
Thank you so much, Matt. That was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for tolerating that. I know it was rough for everybody.
No, we enjoyed that very much.
It gets worse. So just a warning.
So So my name is Jules. If you are just joining us, this is the Overtime Cabaret from home, because this is where we have to do the shows from now because COVID. So if you've got a couple extra bucks to drop into the bucket, please donate to the Overtime through these links. We are hoping that we still are able to pay rent and have a building when we come out of this pandemic. So please, if you've got a couple bucks, we would love that. We will also have for each one of our performers individual tip buckets. So if you like what they've got, if you're enjoying what they are throwing at you, please drop them a couple of bucks too. In fact, if you have a couple of bucks, maybe you could give $1 to the Overtime and $1 to your favorite performer. Like, that would be great. Thank you so much for being with us. We're going to keep on going, and I am going to bring back to the stage Shaggy.
Woo!
All right. I thought, okay. Yeah. Well, all right. Sadly, I thought when we went into the lockdown, I would write all these poems. And sadly, I only wrote one because I've been watching way too much news. And in fact, I heard some disturbing news on CNN the other day. It seems that the University of Berkeley recently proved something that many of us have feared for years, that marijuana smoke causes short-term memory loss. Now, I'm not one of those smoke two joints before I smoke two joints before I smoke two joints kind of guys, but thanks to a rare medical condition involving a lack of self-control, I must smoke marijuana surprisingly often. So I was shocked. Sorry. Sadly, I thought when the lockdown happened, I was going to be able to write all of these poems. But sadly, I think I only wrote one, and mainly because I've been watching a lot of news the whole time. And I heard some disturbing news on CNN the other day. It seems that the University of Berkeley recently proved something that many of us have feared for years, that marijuana smoke causes short-term memory loss. Now, I'm not one of those smoke two joints before I smoke two joints before I smoke two joints kind of guys, but thanks to a rare medical condition involving a lack of self-control, I must smoke marijuana surprisingly often. So I was shocked one day when I turned on the TV, and there on the CNN news crawl, it said that the University of Berkeley recently proved something that many of us have feared for years, that marijuana smoke causes short-term memory loss. Now, wondering if this was true, I decided to call a friend of mine, who shall remain nameless, to see if he had memory problems from smoking marijuana because of his medical condition. So I called him up and I said, "Hey, Chris, have you heard that the University of Berkeley recently proved?" And before I could say another word, he starts screaming into the phone, "Would you please stop calling and asking me that question, God damn it?" Realizing he must have got me confused with someone else, I hung up the phone, apologized, hung up the phone, and when I walked into the other room, there on the CNN news crawl, it said that the University of Berkeley recently proved something that many of us have feared for years, that marijuana smoke causes short-term memory loss. And I thought at first that this was a good thing, because that meant I could watch the same episodes of Family Guy over and over again, and they would always be funny. But then I realized I already watch the same episodes of Family Guy over and over again, and they always be funny. So maybe it was true. And I was about to concoct a little test to see if it was when my phone rang. It was a friend of mine, who shall remain nameless, who also had a rare medical condition which required copious quantities of cannabis. So I picked up a phone and I said, "Hey, Chris, what's up?" And he said, obviously alarmed, that he had just heard that the University of Berkeley recently proved something that many of us have feared for years, that marijuana smoke causes short-term memory loss. Hearing this, I dropped the phone in fear, paralyzed with paranoia, frozen for what felt like hours, until I realized there was an episode of The Family Guy on TV that I had never seen before. So I sat down, smoked a bowl, and laughed my ass off for the next 30 minutes. And the funny thing is, I don't even have a cat.
Yes! Thank you, Shaggy. Our audience definitely is enjoying your sense of humor out there. So
Be funny. That's the true story. Okay, it's not. Don't laugh at the afflicted. So.
That was a great poem. Thank you so much for being here, Shaggy. So tell us. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. This is
Oh, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about Puro Slam. What's going on with Puro Slam with the pandemic?
We do Zoom slams every once in a while, so we're trying to keep it real, but like I run Poodle Slam because it's in a bar and it's late at night and it's rowdy and it's offensive and it's drunk and people get uncomfortable and there are fights sometimes afterwards. And but so
sometimes the cops get called, not often, but sometimes
the cops get called. So Zoom is not for me, and it's not. I don't think Zoom is very Pluto, though we tried our best. So
yeah,
so we're doing nothing right now except stuff like this.
Well, thank you for being with us, Shaggy. Next up is that same blonde-haired, glasses-wearing musician. It's me. Please, by the way, donate to the overtime. We want to be here when this is all over. This is the Overtime Cabaret from home. My name is Jules Vaquera, and this is a song called Try. Actually, yeah, okay. I got this. I wear my guilt on my back. It weighs me down so low. That's what you get when you've done the things I've done. I suffer every day, prostrate myself and repent. No matter how much I hurt, it's never enough. I've put so much hurt in the world. I don't know if I can do any good, but I've got nothing left but to try, 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 try. Sometimes I need to put it down so I can catch my breath. But then putting it down just takes my breath away. So I let it in really hard, let it wash over me. Then I put it down, turn around and walk away. I put so much hurt in the world. I don't know if I can do any good, but I've got nothing left but to try, 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 try. That was me. That's a song I wrote. Thank you guys so much for listening to me play music and sing. It's kind of the best thing ever. I'm not going to lie. So our next act coming up is a friend of mine. We've been friends for several years. He's one of the funniest people I know, not even just on stage, just in general, in life. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Jake Yarbrough.
Hey, yeah. Thank you. All right. So I guess I'll start off by just saying, man, COVID's been getting me a little too intoxicated. That's why I had to quit drinking. I hit 102 days sober off of alcohol. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's because I'm tired of things trying to hold me back. That's why I don't wear seatbelts, because I always want to be moving forward. Yeah. Guys, I am happy to be here, though. I am very happy. I mean, it's been a tough year for everybody, but it's really been tough on anyone named Karen. 2020 has not been looking good for them. And you know what? I get it. Like, all the Karens are like, I don't understand why everyone's so mad about it. Why is everyone mad at me right now? And I get it, mainly because I could totally be a Kevin sometimes, you know? Just be like, excuse me, can I speak to your manager? Like, I learned from the best, okay? My stepmom's the biggest Karen that I know. One time, a pizza delivery guy was an hour late when I was 13. My stepmom was just started yelling at the guy when he got there, just like, I got 2 starving Ethiopian kids in my house. And I was just like, that's not what you have at all. Like, I'm not black, Jill. Like, you're the one who said it, not me. We still got 2 pizzas and a 2-liter, though. So, I mean, I guess it worked. Maybe that's why everyone's so mad at you. You're just using these superpowers for evil, you know? You could be using this bitchery for, you know, I don't know, fighting police brutality, fighting for health care, you know, finding out if Bigfoot is real or not. You know? Okay, I see. Some of y'all are like, what does a Karen have to do with finding out if Bigfoot's real or not? So you're telling me if we don't release a bunch of middle-aged white women into the middle of the woods that just started bitching about, like, if Bigfoot it was real or not, he would just not just bust out of the woods like, all right, guys, I'm real. I'm right here. Can y'all just leave me alone? I'm just saying, we could totally do that. But instead, Karen, you spend all your time calling the police on somebody that's just using the pool after 10 p.m. You know? Like, you don't even live in this apartment complex, Karen. The only reason that you're even there is because you're paying your daughter's rent, you know? Just so you could tell your book club, like, oh, at least my little girl doesn't live at home. You know, like, that's all you want to do, Karen. It's okay, though. We can always change this up. You know, my stepmom is actually a good person. She's actually a really good person, you know? We only use her as like an atom bomb when it's just like, okay, shit has hit the fan. But at the same time, guys, like, my stepmom does try to be a really good person. Like, one time she tried to give me dating advice after a bad breakup. Yeah, she was like, I'm gonna be a mom to my stepson finally. I'm gonna give him some advice. I just had this horrible breakup, and she was like, Jake, you know, it took me and your dad a couple of tries before we found the one. I mean, me and your dad were both on our second marriage. Which then I immediately responded with, well, it's dad's third, but who's counting, you know? It took me about 5 seconds to realize that because of the look of my stepmom's face, my dad has never told her about the second marriage, you know? Now I'm getting home and my dad wants to kick my ass just because, you know, I'm not keeping up the lie he didn't tell me. And I'm just like, well, I thought if she was the one, you would tell each other everything, you know? But guys, I've been spending a lot of time with my family virtually, you know, just trying to say hi. You know, I got to keep up with a lot of things because, like, my stepmom, she's in a nursing home. She's got dementia right now, guys. Yeah. Completely correct reaction right there by everybody who's on the show. No response, just like, ooh, dementia, that's pretty bad. I did a show one time in New Mexico. Some dude was like, woo, dementia. That's like where you could, like, forget everything, but you don't have to smoke weed to forget. You know, like, that's a weird way of putting it, you know? I mean, it's kind of true, though. But having dementia, that's no laughing matter. Unless you're me, of course, right? Because here's the thing, everybody. My grandmother thinks that I'm my dad. Keeps telling me about how I'm doing a terrible job raising myself. Yeah, it's so interesting because who knew my dad was a horrible father? Oh, wait, grandma knew. Who knew that my dad was just using me and my brother to pick up women at Hooters? Oh, wait, grandma knew, and now I know too. But don't feel bad about my grandmother having dementia, though, guys, because she used to be racist. Yeah. I say used to be because she forgot that she was. So how you make the midget funny, everybody, right there. Boom. But actually, no, I am happy, though, that I'm not getting those awkward phone calls now from my grandmother anymore, where she's just like, Jake, are you still hanging out with all them Mexicans? Like, I'm the only white guy that lives in my neighborhood. Like, who else am I supposed to hang out with? Like, me and Pablo, we got the same goddamn credit score. He likes drinking beer. I like drinking beer. He likes soccer. I like football. You know, this could go on forever. Just saying. Not only that, but Mexican women, those are my kryptonite right there. That's right. Can't get enough of them. Makes me think that whenever I was a baby, maybe my grandmother was just like holding me and was just like saying some racist stuff about Mexican women, just like shit. Like, Mexican women only shave off their eyebrows and then pay them right the fuck back on. You know? Yeah, I know. It's horrible. And baby me's just going like, ooh, grandma, tell me more. That's so hot, you know? You know what? It makes me think, I have a theory now that if you're racist, you're going to have grandkids that just are going to sleep with whatever race you hate. Yeah. And it's on you. It's on you. That's what I say. Yeah. Maybe you should have not made them sound so exotic, you know? Oh, I never ran into somebody like that before. You know, that's different, you know? But actually, I was in the military for 6 years, and I get a lot of questions being back in the States. And since we're online, let me tell you one of the weirdest questions I get. A lot of people are like, Jake, does Call of Duty piss you off at all? Nah, not really. In fact, wish they made a couple of more games. You know, a couple of games that incorporated more of the life of the soldier. You know, like what if they made a video game for the veteran affairs called Call of Duty VA Warfare? Yeah, where you fight for your benefits. Yeah, you know. The only problem is the game would just be like a long line of dudes and one dude cutting in front of them just like, oh, excuse me, my uncle's a congressman, you know? Like, that's the antagonist right there. You just fist fight him in the parking lot. You're like, give me my benefits, you know? Like, that's a game I could totally get behind. But guess what, guys? It just looks like an amazing game, but it's the lag that kills you. Yes. All right, guys. My name is Jake Yarbrough. Y'all been amazing. Check me out at jakeisfunny.com, everybody.
Thank you so much, Jake. I love that guy. Jake is going to be back next week, actually. He will be in the next show as well. For those of you who are just joining us, this is the Overtime Cabaret from home. The Overtime Theater is your source for live, local, original theater in San Antonio. Right now, we're doing this from home because COVID is a reality. No, I'm just kidding. I am crying. I'm just holding it back. Anyway, we're doing this show from home. We are hoping you might have a couple bucks to drop for the overtime because we would love to be able to pay rent and still have a building when this is all over. So here we are. We pull in one more poet back up to the stage. Come on back, Lady Di.
Hi, this is a brand new poem that I have not performed before. This is called Like Vines. I think the love in my heart has outgrown the chipped planter in my yard. My love spills out onto the sidewalk. It fights for space to grow between the weeds and wildflowers. Eventually, I'll run out of garden metaphors. And before then, I just want to give you flowers while you're still alive, while you're still here with me. I need you as much as I need the sun. When I break free, there's some dandelions planted at my feet. And then they fly away, almost as if in retreat. Where will the journey take them today? I held a dandelion in my hand, a soft, small cloud picked from the land. What more is there to say? Wait until the wind blows. Take a breath, and there it goes, fading away like yesterday. But I come back to today, and I need you as much as I need the sun. The tallest tree in my backyard has limbs just like yours. They gently bend and do not break in the face of the toughest storms. Will you stay strong for me for 100 years more? Could I wrap around you like a vine? The smallest seed in my backyard has dreams just like mine.
Yeah. I'm sad that I didn't get the chance to yell new shit at you at Poodle.
Just like we do, right?
That is awesome. Our show was the first place that you ever performed that. That makes me feel so special. Thank you so much. All right. We are going to bring your favorite your favorite magician and also your favorite troubadour back to the stage.
Okay. Hi. See, I have more than one musical implement now, so it actually means I must be almost a professional. This is an ukulele. They say ukulele. If you're from Utah, you can say ukulele because Utah has a U in it. So that's how that works. All right. Next song here is about 3.5 minutes long. No, it is probably one of the jazziest things that I do. And it is about relationship challenges. It finally happened to me. I found someone I didn't think it could come true, but I found me a life companion. So hey, the same thing could happen to you. I mean, our life together is wonderful. I think we're gonna get serious soon. We really got a good thing going, but it gets real freaky when we hit a full moon. I'm dating a werewolf. Oh yes, it's true. I'm dating a werewolf. I feel a woo. It's like I'm awake in a beautiful daydream, yo. They really have improved my days. I'm still real startled they found me here. Guess we'll have to see how all this plays. They do all kind of cute things that I adore. This relationship is gonna go far. I mean, I get all squishy when they stick their head out of the window when we're driving my car. I'm dating a werewolf. Oh yes, it's true. I'm dating a werewolf. I feel a woo. Out with me. Woo. Now I ain't saying that things are perfect here. No, the challenges will always be there. And we work our way through our problems now. And it usually kind of all turns out fair. You know I don't like fighting my partner, no. So I learned me this one little trick. If things get angry and we get into a fight, all I gotta do to win is throw a stick. I'm dating a werewolf. Oh yes, it's true. I'm dating a werewolf. I feel a woo. So now you know the whole dang crazy story here. How my life is just with pride upside down. How my mind not sound, but my mind's too clear. Gotta know that I ain't wearing a frown. I mean, I know that I hit me the jackpot, y'all. That's the reason why I'm singing this song. And although we know it could take a lot of work, there's no single little thing that's gone wrong. Oh, terrible. I'm dating a werewolf. Oh yes, it's true. I'm dating a werewolf. I feel a woo.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Matt. That was awesome.
Thank you.
I have known Matt for a while now. I also know his wife, Amy, and I have to say it is a surprise to find out that Amy is a werewolf.
Well, Amy is actually not a lycanthrope, so that saves us a little bit of time and logistical issues, I think is really the important part here. We haven't really been able to nail down what Amy is. As you well know, Jules, I will say this. The act is called Troubadour, as you saw that, Troubadork, because that is the name that it's the closest, the best description of what I do in this context. She doesn't like the name, but she'll approve it because she can't come up with an alternative.
And you're doing Troubadour shows how often now?
I am currently doing my non-commute show since I'm working from home. About 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 4:30-ish to about 5-ish Central. And you can find that on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/theadequate. And you can find it on the Tobias the Adequate Twitch page. You can find it on the YouTube page and all these plugs and stuff that we'll probably get into later on. I'm going to do it anyway, so you might as well watch.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. There will be one more song from the Troubadour at the end of the show tonight.
And that's a threat.
Whoa, what happened to Jake? Wow, how long has the show been? Have we been performing that long? Oh my God. Sorry, you just totally got me. Okay, so coming back to the stage, we have one final time in the night. Please welcome back Shaggy.
Thank you. I'm gonna read a poem. I'm gonna try to get it right here. I do want to say before I read this poem, we started a YouTube channel back in end of March. Puro Slam, capital P, capital S. Puro Slam, just capitalize that P and the S. We have a lot of videos. Lady Dies on there. We had a competition, head-to-head bouts, fierce stuff. Check it out. Support the poets. But anyways, this poem is called, says 12 in a series of 50 poems called Fuck Donald Trump. Nothing to do with him, but hey. One way to fight racism is to get high. And I don't mean that in some kind of blunt, stunting, riff, spliffing, doobie, scoobing, hot boxing, stoner sort of way. I mean that as a man who knows his history. You see, less than 100 years ago, marijuana was legal in the United States. And while you couldn't buy it at the corner store or from the ice cream man like you can today in my neighborhood, you could, in the right city from the right person, legally purchase the dankest, glow-in-the-darkest, stickiest, ickiest, wickiest, thickest kind imaginable. Capitalism at its finest. As people were making money with the weed, and with that money gaining power, and with that power gaining the ability to better their lives and fight those who abuse their own power. The system was about to be rocked until America in the 1930s woke up and remembered, whoa, we're fucking racist. Capitalism is not for those kind of people. And this gateway merchandise, a legal gateway to money, job, success, middle class, upper class, power, acceptance, and more, has to be stopped. So a government official, the man ultimately in charge of who says alcohol good, marijuana evil, said this: reefer makes bleep think they're as good as the white man. They're saying satanic music, jazz, and swing result from marijuana use. And then to further tap into America's genetic racism, he terrified the right people with horror stories of murder and rape. Marijuana was so insidious that, quote, if the hideous monster Frankenstein came face to face with marijuana, he would drop dead of fright. That's all in government record. Google it. Weed is not illegal for health reasons. I can drive 5 miles and buy a fried chicken sandwich with bacon, add extra bacon, cheese, add extra cheese, mayonnaise, add extra mayonnaise, include a side of ranch to dip the sandwich in, and instead of bread, the only slightly healthy thing in the whole sandwich, I can get 2 more pieces of fried chicken instead. It ain't about the health. And it ain't about the crime, because marijuana was legal before it became a crime. No. The worst thing that happens when you get infected with the reefer madness is even if it is 2 a.m, you will drive 5 miles slowly in order to buy a fried chicken sandwich with bacon, add extra bacon, cheese, add extra cheese, mayonnaise, add extra mayonnaise, fuck the lettuce and tomato, include a side of ranch to dip the sandwich in. And instead of bread, the only slightly healthy thing in the whole sandwich, you can get 2 more pieces of fried chicken instead, or fucking donuts, people. And that is another reason why Colin Kaepernick does not need to stand for the national anthem. Peace.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Thank you so much, Shaggy. That is so good. And I also, how many are in that series of poems called "Fuck Trump"?
They're all called "Fuck Donald Trump," and they all end with, and that is another reason why Colin Kaepernick.
Ah.
About 25 of them at this point.
I'm going to have to hear
25
some more of those when you come back for sure. If you are just joining us, this is the Overtime Cabaret from home. We have poetry, we have comedy, we have music, which I'm about to play for you. We are asking for donations for the Overtime Theater. We are hoping that you might have a couple bucks to drop for the Overtime so that we still have a building when this whole pandemic is done, so that we can do some theater for you in person. The Overtime Theater is your home for live local original theater in San Antonio. We also have tip buckets for each one of our individual performers, like myself, for instance. Look at that. You could donate to me if you would like to. But I hope that you will donate to some of these artists who are coming out here, because honestly, a lot of us perform for money, and those performances are not available to us right now. So this is all we got. So please drop some money for these folks for sure. And also because they are here to support the Overtime. This is a song called The Locked Door. It's a song about consent. This is where I live, my address is me. Some things to keep in mind. I have some suggestions, let's call them house rules, to get you past the no trespassing sign. A locked door is a locked door. 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 We could sit on the porch for a couple of hours, or we could go right on inside. Make yourself comfortable here on the couch. Scoot over and I'll sit beside. You're not the only one roaming these halls. Hey, you're never gonna be. But I've got a room reservation in your name. You're just not gonna get your own key, because a locked door is a locked door. 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 All of the things you see here in this house, wouldn't have them if they weren't so precious. I'm happy to feed you, but when the meal's done, would you help me clean up the messes? Let's go on upstairs first, door to the right. I'll lead you most of the way. But if I catch you trying doors to the left, baby, you ain't gonna stay. Because a locked door is a locked door. A locked door is a locked door. Hey! A locked door is a locked door. A locked door is a locked door. for listening to my song about consent. That is awesome. So let's see who we got up next. What is on my? This is the part of the script that says interview Jules, and I can't interview myself.
I can start.
Okay.
Hey, so, Jules, what do you do at the overtime?
I do many things at the overtime. I actually am most happy as a worker bee. I'll show up and clean the bathrooms before the shows, or build sets, or clean out I love to when we have a new show starting, clean out the dressing rooms and get them ready for the next people. But I'm also on the board of directors. I'm actually the president of the board of directors there. I write shows for the overtime. I appear in shows at the overtime. I do all of the things, anything that needs to be done. I am happy to do it because the overtime is awesome.
All right, I'll follow up.
Okay.
So I do know you do a lot of different things. So I am wondering if there is a project or some sort of creative endeavor that you've never had the chance to do or you want to do, and you're thinking that one day, if everything falls in line, this would be the one thing that you just would love to participate in.
Oh my God. That is a big question. I have no idea. I mean, straight up, I would love to release an album. I still haven't done that. I have many songs that I've written, but I write in so many different styles and about so many different things that I've never had music that went together that would be an album before. And so I have like 3 songs about nonviolence, and so I've considered releasing an EP that's like a nonviolence EP, but I haven't done it yet. But releasing an album, that would be really, really cool. Thank you for that question. All right, I think we're good with interviewing Jules. I think right now what we should do is bring back to the stage one last time tonight, drop some money in her tip bucket, Lady Di.
This poem goes out to all my fellow 20-something-year-olds or millennials or Gen whatevers and anyone who's ever felt burnout. Hashtag the struggle is real. I'm terrified of losing the ones I love because I terribly miss the ones who have left. And I close my eyes and I hear the soft footsteps of death so subtle behind me, so quickly approaching me, and loss sneaks up behind me like a bear, and towering over me there, I'm paralyzed. For the departed souls, all the candles I lit dripped into a warm wax welcome mat at the doorstep of my grief. My grief is a stone brick house, and every day I imagine myself jumping off the roof, and instead, I fall down the chimney and I combust into anxiety. When I crawl out of the fireplace, I am covered in the ash of reality. I don't want to die without making a name for myself. Life goes on, but death rides with us too, so I take a hot shower and I go to work. Of all the things I'm afraid of, I'm not afraid of getting fired. I burn with a passion for achievement, and I'm one of the hardest working people I know. And despite that, my insecurity is a blanket that I sew with my toes tapping nervously because my hands are already busy multitasking. When it gets cold in the office, I have 3 spreadsheets draped over me already. I feel the soft snow of unfinished tasks and 20 browser tabs. I need a second set of hands so I can hold a cup of coffee, and because I'm out of nails to bite. I am afraid of not being good enough, and I know that time and time again I'm told I just have to be good enough for myself. But the ribbons and awards on my shelf are from years ago, and the medals are forged from the fires of my burnout. They are a sparkling timeline on display, and the gaps in dates are as dark, as lonely as the times I gave myself permission to rest. I can't just be good enough, I have to be the absolute best. But I'm a jack of all trades, a master of none. I have to remind myself I'm still amazing, even if I'm not always number one.
Yes, that was awesome. And I so identify with that. I am one of those people who experiences burnout. I love you, Lady Di. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, we have 1 act left. Everybody say it with me. Aww. Okay, so our very last act is going to make you smile, though. So please welcome back to the stage one last time for our last act of the night, your very own Troubadour.
Oh, me. Hi. Okay. Oh, why? Hello there. All right. This last song is one that I swear to God, I'm going to write I'm going to release an EP called The Internet Writes My Songs, because there's a lot of stuff that's inspired by stuff that you see on social media. And this one is no exception. This was clearly someone playing around with the remains of a charcuterie plate, because there was a bunch of, well, I can only assume cheddar cheese in slab-like slices that had been stacked, arranged into, well, a henge. Let's just call it that, shall we? And my brain started saying, you know what? I'm going to write a song about this. And then my tiny little bit of musical talent that I have says, well, you know who's ought to be singing this? This isn't going to be a folk song. This isn't going to be a happy, feel-good, folky song. No, 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 no. This isn't going to be a happy, poppy little song. No, this is going to be a song. I want you to imagine, those of you who are within my demographic, that it's the mid-'70s, because this could be sung by Neil Diamond.
Ooh.
Not happy, heartwarming, turn on your heart like Neil Diamond. Oh, no, no, no. Mid-'70s, long hair, double denim, completely bonkers Neil Diamond. So it's about 2.5 hours into the I can't see a damn thing. It's about 2.5 hours into the show. He's gone through all of his hits, and now we're into the esoteric weird stuff. Speaking of which, you know what? I saw on CNN today that a study had... never mind. So I want you to imagine that it's this far enough into the show that this song gets played. I should also note this song has actually caused this instrument to detune itself spontaneously in the middle of the song, because even this instrument can't believe what the hell I'm doing to it. Cheese henge, it's like Stonehenge but made of cheese. Hands are taller than the trees, majestic in its pasteurized glory. Generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Erected by the ancient Welsh, well, they really couldn't help themselves. Cowie's fires of Wensleydale, their faith in engineering would prevail. Cheese henge, it's a henge, but it's made of cheese. The construction was quite a breeze. Majestic in its pasteurized glory, generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Who knows why they built this thing? Did they turn cobwebs around it and sing? How this dairy stuff lasts so long? We'll just wonder about it in song. Cheese henge, it's a henge, but it's made of cheese, and it's swayed slightly in the breeze. Majestic in its pasteurized glory, generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Standing in delicious awe, take a selfie to send to my mom. In the woods by a distant stream, you're gonna smell it before it is seen. Cheese henge, it's a henge, but it's made of cheese. If you're allergic, it'll make you sneeze. Majestic in its pasteurized glory, generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. can't see a damn thing. I have stunned her to the point of muting her. Hi, Jules. I muted your mic.
You are my favorite troubadour.
I
You're the only
I
troubadour, which makes you my favorite automatically.
my cuff.
So, thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you to every single one of our performers. Please drop some money in their tip buckets if you can. Please also drop some money in the overtime tip bucket as well. We are hoping to still be around when all this pandemic stuff is over with. The overtime is your home for live local original theater in San Antonio, which is awesome. We have a show again next week. We're going to be doing these cabaret shows for the next 3 weeks in a row on Saturdays at 8:00. Next week, we have Nick Lewis. Jake is going to come back and make us laugh again. We're going to have Joyous Windrider and Mandy Lynn Lara doing some poetry. We're going to have Ann Almonte doing some belly dance. And we're going to have Bethany Schwartz making some music too. You should come back and see it. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you so much. Good night.
Night, everybody.
Take care,
Bye,
y'all.
everyone.
Thank you for encouraging our behavior.